Greetings, everyone. Well, it's that time again. Another DVD review. This time, another horror flick which I just basically picked up originally at Walmart. And this is actually probably the kind of most disturbing kind of zombie type of um, movie horror originally, because it's not like really gorgy horror, but it's actually pretty interesting. I'm of course talking about Shaun of the Dead. And that's what we're going to talk about today on Here's More to Read Reviews. Welcome back. Okay, we're going to talk about Shaun of the Dead originally. This is actually a pretty awesome, really well filmed. It's basically a very kind of cheesy comedy fest originally, but it has British science fiction originally with a bunch of British actors like for none other than Sean Pigman, who is also known originally, who was basically played in so many original roles in his movies, along with his basically a good co-host Nick Frost, who also did originally very well roles. If you probably see these guys before, they used to be the one of the characters from basically from Hot Fuzz. Now, if you don't know what that Hot Fuzz is, which is a pretty well solid, really great British movie version, but when I actually picked this up at Walmart, I was very curious about this version because I have seen Hot Fuzz version before version, and it's actually pretty well solid, good movie, and actually really just one of the movies that it just takes your whole life away version from basically watching it. I don't know. I think this movie is actually pretty interesting and actually well written, and it's because it's basically by two friends who are basically just have no comprehensive of any type of career life, because if you see Sean's character really tried to be just the unemployed management mission in this kind of retail store, and they actually really find out originally that everything's happening, it's going on originally with these people originally turning into zombies and actually trying to feed on one another. So it's actually pretty interesting because the actress who played in this movie, it's actually a love interest with the character right here. So this is basically why I think it's pretty solid, because it starts off originally slow when you see the average of manager character who has no comprehensive of any kind of career choices or anything like that, because it's kind of really played that way. But it's very kind of hilarious horror, very comedy, because it's very wild comedy. It's very kind of just like bone crushing, usually just zombie type of like film. But it's very much more just focused on comedy. You can see the zombies are very, because in the film itself, it's actually really played by a number of some of the actors who basically you probably know of or basically probably heard of. But I think this is actually a well-produced movie because when I saw this for $5 in the Walmart bin, I was thinking, yeah, it's pretty interesting. I would like to check it out, and it's actually pretty much a very slap hit romantic comedy with zombies. So if you look at the into the title, which you probably can't see, it says slap hit romantic comedy with zombies right towards here. So it's actually pretty interesting, and it's actually worth something that if you're very into comedy or into any of something like zombie-like horror cheese fest, this is something you probably want to go with. So based on the features, we got a little bit like tons of features on it. You got misbits, outtakes, outcasts of all new deleted scenes never been shown in feeders. Wrong Me Never Before Seen cast tapes by Shaun Pigman Shaun Pigman Video Diary, and special effects community commentary, whatever you pronounce it called. TV bits include interview with Coldplay. You also got plus you got uncensored commentary with the cast and crew of the uh, zombie photography, a zombometer zombie trivia, and much more hilarious features. So that's a pretty well solid, good set version. I know Bridge this is available on Blu-ray originally, and I will eventually maybe pick this up on Blu-ray if I have the money right originally. So basically, you got the nice, really shiny, you got a nice, really cover art with the base of the characters. I like how they got all the zombies all around, which is when you got the title. And on the back, it's actually pretty much loaded of pretty interesting features right here. Yeah, loaded with so much features. And Shaun actually did very considerate of other characters in his own movies. He actually did versions I think, Run Fat Boy Run, and I think other kind of movies that he's been on, but Shaun Pickman is actually pretty well sung, a British actor who is pretty much well known of Hot Fuzz. If you don't know if you haven't seen Hot Fuzz, you better get it because it's actually a well funny movie originally, and it's actually pretty interesting. And inside, if we go inside the casing, we just get this got nice DVD artwork, nothing that fancy. It would be great originally if they had pretty interesting artwork. Like if they do the same artwork like this one and did something to this, it could make a lot more difference. So yeah, that's pretty much about that originally because I don't know, the movie itself is actually pretty well interesting and well entertaining. Even if I'm not watching very kind of like kind of horror mixed with basically comedy, I still find it pretty interesting to watch because I remember one scene where I think when the character Shaun and when the character actually really was trying to protect his girlfriend Richard from the zombies, and like he's protecting his best friend Richard, who has basically been his best friend for probably like years for now, Richard. But it's pretty interesting because the two male characters are pretty much good buddies and everything. They basically just do everything. Because I remember originally in I think Ed's character was trying to be more as a douche, very Richard just trying to be his best friend, but just being such a total douchebag who doesn't even think about Richard, about what his best friend really cares about Richard, that his girlfriend is. So it's basically pretty interesting. It basically starts off Richard. It says, there is a day Richard that every man's life when he has to get off of his couch and killing some zombies. When flesh-eating zombies are hunting to bite to eat, it's up to Shaun and his best friend Ed to save his friends and family from the beginning of the next interstates. Save for your bloodless apprehensions of this movie, master horror and film critics alike are hilarious as funny as the scariest movie of the year. Nominated by Sean Keen's guest average of a 10 of funny meter, funny meter, and judgments of the cuts as a classic, and well, you get the whole room. But it's pretty well interesting. It's pretty well started by Shaun and Ed Richard trying to save their family and friends Richard from basically by a eating type of zombies to trying to take over the British area. So it's pretty well soft because I remember at the end, I know I'm not going to give away some spoilers who haven't ever seen this, but if there's our version, then you might want to turn this video off. And then in the movie, we see, Shaun and basically his girlfriend and his best friend, Ed, are stuck in the basement in a bar trying to survive Richard from all these zombies because they're blocking the bar area to prevent Richard trying to get to not to get eaten by zombies. So, because at the end, when Ed Richard gave up his life, Richard trying to, knowing that Shaun's girlfriend and him are basically trying to survive, and he tried to let them Richard, but towards the end, Ed Richard managed to be as a zombie, and Richard just tried to Because I remember in one scene at the end of the movie, close to the end of the movie, we see Shaun and Ed playing video games in the courtyard, in the basically in Shaun's backyard version when they're just playing video games, and Shaun just trying to be dreadful with his zombie friend, who has basically been a zombie and just trying to really just be. But I don't know, it's pretty well interesting, funny movie, and I don't think it's really no embarrassment for what this movie has gone for shit. Even though this is basically towards the Halloween season, and I just like to pick this up because, you know, I just like watching very kind of the comedy, even if it has horror in it. I still find it pretty interesting to watch, and you know that's always been about me versus watching movies versus about how does movies are related towards horror or related towards related to comedy, because originally they make horror more as a very thriller or maybe more as a scary type flick, and it's pretty wise versus that you look at the characters are just downright funny, because in this movie all the characters are just downright funny. All of this basically just trying to survive from the zombie race, from being eaten, and the only two remaining to survive was the two lovebirds. So it's pretty wild, cheesy type of a zombie fest with a bunch of zombies that's basically trying to eventually trying to eat the non-zombie type of people. So it's pretty interesting, film. But I don't know. I will eventually hopefully pick this up on Blu-ray, because I know it probably looks more better version than high def version than this, because which is basically was at Walmart trying to pick up some movies version for $5, and I ended up costing this version because I knew that's something that I just wanted to basically have for just basically for a Halloween festival for me, Richard, to just basically to enjoy originally. So yeah. So that's pretty much it about that. I will wish to continue to do more reviews of this following month, because I know it's getting close towards Halloween, and I know everybody's so excited to get their sights on of this basically just have a blast time versus Halloween. But I'm not really recommend going out that much, because like I said, I don't have nobody to I can take for Halloween. But I really enjoy just basically sit down and watch some pretty interesting horror films, and just actually look forward to that. So yeah, so that's the end for me for now. Until next time, thank you for watching. Signing out.